Hello, Isabella.
Hello, Diana.
I am so excited because I get the opportunity to talk about your experience being a part of the Rise Advocates Academy and getting to know a little bit more about you and your life and the beautiful opportunities that the world gets to have to experience you and your fullest self. So let's get started. So, what was it that got you interested into the Academy?
Well, I definitely heard about the Academy from multiple people
Hmm.
who were on the level that I wanted to be at.
Ooh.
They at least already knew you personally. And these are all women in particular who I really admired, and I wanted some aspect of their leadership in me. And so I was like, okay, the connecting factors that they're all talking about Diana. So let me get in there and let me talk to Diana too.
Yes, I love that. And so, what are some of the aspects of these people that really intrigue you about the Isabella that you are, but you saw yourself in them?
I really admire their capacity to execute things and actually get things done.
It's good.
So not simply just thinking about and imagining, but also the ability to like bring that imagination out
Yeah.
and transmute into the physical, the
Yeah.
physical realm.
Isn't that amazing? Because really, our minds are so capable of doing so many things, but a lot of us shortcut that opportunity. And it really does, when you think about it, take quite a bit of focus to bring that into reality. So
It's hard.
tell me a little bit about that for you in terms of your life. I mean, I want to hear a little bit more of your background.
I'm the daughter of two Buddhist priests, the founders of the Buddhist Temple of Toledo. And ever since I was little, I was very aware of the power of self-care and the power of using your mind to do what you want in the world. I had the fortune of seeing my parents build their temple from the ground up, and that started as nothing but an idea that they had. And my grandparents too also showed me how to do this. They are the founders of Carpets by Otto. So from a young age too, I got to see what it takes, the behind the scenes, if you will, but what can happen and what kind of impact you can have when you can actually connect who you are to what you do
Hmm.
and then go at it with everything you've got.
Mm, I love that. I've just always have said, I'm like, wow. First of all, I applaud you because you often speak of your foundation. A lot of people don't have that wonderful foundation, and a foundation is what really makes a great environment, right? It
Mhm.
really, really does have, the from a flower to a human being to an animal. It really does make all the difference in the world. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that with me. And also too, I see the connection, because if you see that in other people to what you saw when you were growing up, it makes it clear that these are the people I need to hang around. Right? Do you see your current surroundings changing, and how do you believe that it's changed even for the better since being a part of the program?
Hmm. The course was so nourishing because once a week for 8 weeks, I got a healthy dose of self-reflection and friendship too.
Mm,
I think that just allowing myself, not putting pressure on myself, but simply just allowing the course to do what it's meant to do. On
right.
the other end of it, I feel way more connected to community. I
Mhm,
feel a deep sense of reassurance that I'm on the right path. And
mhm.
also I have a little more I would say like jet fuel in the pack, like I'm ready to I'm ready to like, now that I have that.
Yes, I like that jet fuel in the pack. A lot of people are looking for purpose. They're looking for a sense of intention in their lives and something to get up and go. I think that that's just so, so very important. What were you experiencing before you came to the academy?
For the academy, I was very much in the process of searching and looking because I kind of already, I forget who said this, but something like the only reason you're drawn to the things that you are drawn to is because you see an aspect of yourself in it. And
Mm,
so I think I was very much like, oh, maybe it's this thing, maybe it's this person, maybe, and I've just been, ever since I graduated college, it's been that. It's been kind of courageously exploring what my intuition is saying I should tap into. And so very much before the class and before I really met you, I was very much in that. And
mm,
now I feel like at the end of the course, it all came together.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's why I was feeling drawn to this person, or.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so now that you've gone through this, have there been any other aha moments that you've had since experiencing this class? Anything? And then also aha moments. Before we get into aha moments, I want to hear what were some of the actual tangible things in the class that you thought were like, that's something. What were some of the things that really helped you get to another level in your mind?
Absolutely. And the first thing that comes to mind is the metric of ACE, actually, like really understanding your ACE score. And ever since I learned that with you, I've actually seen it pop up in other areas of my life and other studies that I'm interested in. Like I'm really passionate about the revitalization and healing of downtown Toledo. And a
Yes.
huge aspect of healing and connecting to community is knowing where you came from.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I that
yeah.
was such a good lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Also another really tangible thing was the power of self-branding. I'm
Mm,
like, what do I stand for? Like actually, um, I feel like I got very clear. Okay, this is the type of messaging I want to give out. This is just honing in. I kind of had like a broad thing, but actually honing in. Okay, this is who Isabella Weik is, and
yes.
is what I stand for. That was a huge tangible tool. And I see that now through my social media. It,
Mhm,
all, it has to do with real vulnerability,
mhm.
real truth, finding beauty, and the utilizing the built environment to bring love and healing. I feel like those foundations, it's like a theme now that I can see. That's what I want to stand for. And
Yeah.
that's what I see now expressed in my social media because of the class.
I love that building the environment, the built-in environment. Could you expand upon that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I got that phrase from an incredible book called Larger Than Yourself.
Mm,
It's like reimagining industries, turning thought into movement. It's something along those lines. But utilizing the built environment, I just love it because it almost brings in the sense of nature into it. Because environment, we think of the earth, we think of trees and plants and um, but when we think of buildings, sometimes it's very separated from the natural world. And
mm,
so actually reframing it to think like, oh, the buildings themselves, they have an impact on us.
mm, mm.
And how we plan these things and even the intention that goes behind it. It's how do we utilize these things that we are there for every step of the process.
Mhm.
So at the end of it, let's make the end goal
Yeah.
that we use that as a medium to help people versus it's just a building up,
Yeah.
you can feel, and as you become more sensitive to it, you can actually feel it like,
Mm,
oh, this was actually not really made uh to human scale. That's one way to look at it, but it's also like it wasn't really made to utilize natural light.
mhm.
All of these things you can kind of start feeling as that phrase, utilize the built environment. As I anyway digested it, I was like, oh.
Isn't it great how we can take things? I think when you understand your values and you understand your core center, things hit you differently. You have a greater sense of utilizing certain types of learning to your advantage. And then also as your career, as you start to try and draw a line towards, well, what will Isabella be doing? So what will Isabella be doing? Let's talk a little bit about that. What
Yeah,
do you see for Isabella?
absolutely. first thing, I come from my dad in particular is a very multifaceted person. So I have had the blessing of being able to see people in my life where you can have multiple hats and
Yes.
you can be great at all of those hats. It's actually, you don't have to just pick one thing.
Yes.
So right now, and actually this is a vision I've had for a long time, is I see myself in the real estate industry, particularly helping Toledo, downtown Toledo, utilize those practices I just said. It's something I love community and I love people, and we usually are in buildings when that happens. So how do we make those buildings better? So real estate industry. After this course too, I really realized that sharing my story might be really helpful for some people, like it just the little nuggets of wisdom that I have learned from simply just growing up the daughter of two Zen Buddhist priests. I mean, I didn't realize before this course how much that is actually just ingrained into my DNA. Like it's just here. It's here. So another aspect of what I would like to see myself doing is sharing that wisdom out. And maybe that's, some articles, maybe that's a book, maybe that's a TED Talk. I've been thinking about that a lot recently.
I think that's a great idea.
But yeah, just sharing the nuggets of wisdom that I've been so blessed. I mean, just deeply blessed to just have that around my whole life. So sharing that. I think those are the two big things.
Whenever I see a person, I see like an institution, right? I see a mission, I see a vision, I see deliverables, I see tasks, I see all of these kinds of things. And I see that with you. So as you were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I just could see a whole diagram of Isabella, like what makes Isabella Isabella. And it's so very important. And I love exactly where you're going. So of course, I'm going to encourage you to continue to do that, right? I love that your story could help so many people, and everything that you already knew. It's good that everyone gets to benefit from your college degree because you already had the college degree. I mean, you just needed to get like some paper. I really believe that. I believe all of us are conditioned, and there's some things that we need to unlearn, obviously, and to help us continue to move forward. And in that vein, let's talk about that. What were some of the things you feel like you have to unlearn, and that's not serving you well? What are some of the things that you felt were kind of also kind of going, need to peel that away, need to peel that away? What were some of those things?
Self-doubt was the huge number one. It's like I have a big audacious goal.
Yes.
And when people have a bag, I feel like sometimes you can get a lot of everyone else's insecurities kind of thrown at you, right? So really the self-doubt, what I really learned, and particularly I really felt in your course, is the importance of having people around you who too have a big audacious goal and who too understand that and can also, say thank you for that. I realize that that's your reality, but it's not mine.
Yeah.
And I don't choose to take it.
And you say that louder for the people in the back. I mean, honestly, I really believe if there's one thing everyone needs to learn, and you have learned it at the most beautiful time of your life, which I think is the most exciting time of your life. I feel like whatever moment of life you're in, it's the most exciting time of your life, right? You have to look at life that way. I just was just saying that the other day. I'm like, I love being this age. I love being this age. And I believe if I had people around you like me, when I was in my 20s, I would have known that was a pretty good time in my life, right? So thank you so much for that, because I really believe that, that's so, so very, very important to know that when you have a big audacious goal, it's your goal. You dreamt it. No one else can dream that dream but you. So you do have to be around people who can see you as being enough and worthy to dream that and go do the damn thing, So that's beautiful. I love that. I love it so much. So when we think about, I like these little categories of okay, so where do you see yourself? I mean, I heard that, but do you see yourself as a person who wants to continue to be upwardly mobile, a startup visionary, community leader? And if you could probably rank them, you look probably like, I would like to be all seven. Community leader, justice warrior, startup visionary, corporate executive, unhidden gem, or community advocate. And I say justice warrior and startup visionary. Those were it. So if you rank them, like where do you see yourself kind of in those little categories?
Absolutely. Well, I resonate with all of them.
Yes,
And
I knew you would.
yeah,
Yeah.
they all touch on an aspect of me, especially the community advocacy
Yeah.
and social justice warrior. Those two are very, very dear to me. Um, right now, I think after this course in particular, I feel like I resonate most with the unhidden gem, though. Like I feel like, just with so much love and so much good guidance through the course and through you, it's just like slowly peeling back these like layers, like, oh, okay, this is an aspect, a part of what you can offer to the world. And
Mm,
so I'm really excited to just be right now. I'm just kind of sitting in this like, oh, yeah, I am an unhidden gem, and I'm really excited to shine in order to help people.
yes. I love this. This is beautiful.